Living with PTSD is a reality for countless veterans returning from combat. However, just because you battle with post-traumatic stress doesn't mean you're broken, and our next guest knows that firsthand. He is John Berry. He is the CEO of Berry Law Firm, and he is a veteran himself. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is a super interesting topic, PTSD, and there are so many veterans here in Las Vegas, so I feel like it's so relevant. But what is your personal experience with PTSD?
Well, yeah, we work with a lot of veterans, and I served in the active Army and National Guard for over 20 years. Two deployments, and I worked with soldiers who have experienced the issue firsthand. I think the biggest problem with the stigmas associated with PTSD is that you're weak. And, you know, in the military, warriors don't take breaks. I mean, in the short term, it's great to say, suck it up and drive on. But in the real world, long term, it's dangerous. And unfortunately, we don't see those stigma. The stigma prevents people from stepping forward and asking for help until there's a big legal problem, there's huge relationship problems, or financial problems.
That's really interesting. And I have to admit, for me, I'm so sympathetic when I hear about PTSD because I can understand the intense emotional and psychological implications that would come along with deployment or being in battle, certainly. But I'm not a man, and I've never been a soldier, and so I don't know what it's like to have to kind of put on that face or stay tough. So it's interesting. You talked about some long-term implications. What are some of the long-term implications of PTSD?
Well, I mean, at first it can start off as personal issues, relationship issues, but even long-term health issues and legal issues. And we've seen this where there are severe legal issues for someone who doesn't get in trouble or who doesn't get treatment. And, you know, there's self-medicating with alcohol or other substances. And, you know, instead of addressing the issue, they're suffering silently. And it's not just men, and we've seen it with women who are the survivors of military sexual trauma as well. You know, and it's horrible. Because for every veteran that you talk to, they had a great military experience at one point. There's always something great that they can hold on to. You know, the camaraderie, the experience. But then there's the dark side, the trauma and that traumatic event, that stressor that doesn't go away, that never will go away, and they have to deal with it.
Unless you face it and help process it, absolutely. And that's what I know you want to encourage people to do. PTSD, of course, is not exclusive to the military, but found a lot in it. What other groups of folks do you come across that experience PTSD or have experienced?
Several. I mean, police officers, firefighters, once again, those who have suffered from sexual trauma, anyone who has had an extreme, what we call stressor, a stressful event that they just weren't expecting, prepared to deal with, and it takes a long time to process. So yeah, I mean, it can be anyone, car accident victims, young children, who've seen abuse in the household. I mean, there is just the post-traumatic stress disorder, or the post-traumatic stress comes from so many different experiences in life.
I mean, really, potentially any event that is traumatic and that we, hold on to or that haunts us. Absolutely. I think it's interesting. You're in such a unique position, being an attorney and having served in the military. You have such sympathy for this condition. How have you then turned around this sympathy, this awareness that you have to help others?
Right. Well, I think, the great thing about being an adult is we get to decide who we are our heroes to. And so as a kid, we look at who are our heroes. And for me, that was, sometimes it was football players, but it was soldiers. It was, and that's who I wanted to, those were my heroes. So as an adult, then we can be heroes to our heroes, and we can step up and say, you know what, I want to help. What can I do? And for me, I've been fortunate. We have many veterans on our team, lawyers and staff. And, they're my heroes. Our clients, those veterans are our heroes. So when you get to work with heroes, heroism becomes infectious, and you love working, and you love helping people.
Absolutely. Who watching or listening out there should reach out to your firm?
Yeah, any veteran who has been denied disability compensation by the VA or who needs that treatment. A lot of times veterans who have post-traumatic stress disorder say, I can deal with it. But often it's not just them, it's their family who suffers. It's the spouse, it's the children. And when the veteran can't work or has other issues related to the post-traumatic stress disorder that need to be that need to be addressed, it's not just the veteran. So what happens a lot of times is they will file a claim with the Veterans Administration and they'll be denied, or they won't get a fair compensation rating. And like I said, it goes beyond just the veteran. It goes to the veteran's family, and in some cases the community. And there are veterans out there that deserve treatment. They've earned treatment, and it's our job to make sure the VA gets them that treatment and that compensation that they have earned.
Great, that's absolutely right. And is sometimes having a lawyer help you through that process makes all the difference. Let's be honest, you know the system, and you're able to get people to listen. So, all right, thank you so much for coming in. And to learn more about Berry Law Firm, visit the website right there on your screen. They've made Inc. 5000's list 3 years in a row. Executive Lifestyle, proud sponsor of The Morning Blend.